Good afternoon from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 12:01 p.m. We've just slipped into the afternoon, or really midday. I hope if you're out there in the world, you're enjoying a nice lunch. I had a late breakfast, so I'm not lunching right now. Ms. Aarons is not having lunch today with anyone, as per usual. Living my fierce, wild, freedom and independent dream is it can be a bit isolating and weird at times, but that's why I come on YouTube and annoy you guys, right? Prisoners of my love, my darlings. So anyway, yeah, it's another humid day. It's rainy. We've got some blue skies out in the west and just above my head actually. So it's looking promising that we might get a bit of sunshine this arvo, but you know, it's pretty murky everywhere else. So we'll have to just push that misery and greyness out of our hair, literally out of our hair. Anyway, so today's readings are of today's even date of the 17th of January 2023. And so I continue with my weird ramblings and musings about my life as I know it, as I've experienced it. And you should see the sunshine's just come out. It's actually blasted with yellow lights, almost instant elevation of our purview. How lovely. Just as I was saying, we need to push that misery out. That switched itself on. So thank you, Thor and Odin, and Frey and Freya, and all the Viking Norse gods, and thank you to all the other gods as well that are operating in perfect synchronous delight for my afternoon, making sure we have sunshine and gleefulness and bliss and mischief and did I mention happiness? As you know, if you watch my videos, I don't like the colour grey, which I'm immersed in my Soylent Grey neighbourhood, and I don't like perpetual misery, and I don't like perpetual negativity, and it's something I'm in a constant state of fighting against, because I am, after all, the psychedelic dreamer, meaning I dream in technicolor and vivid colours, and I'm an artist. I like colour. I like emanations of radiance, and I like joyfulness. So anyway, I'll continue with my readings, and today's journaling is titled Love is an ever blooming flower. Over and over again it manifests itself in 1,000 different ways. Hold onto that. And I'm due to get my hair done. I look a bit woeful, but never mind. My hair's slowly being reverted. I've decided to go to grey, and I can actually see bits of grey coming out. And although grey is not my favourite colour and I'd rather be forever blonde, I'm time fighting and space banditing, but also struggling with my budget. So my hairdresser very reluctantly agreed to help me revert to my natural colour, which will be a mix of mousy brown and grey, right? Hopefully it looks okay when we've finally blended it all through. But yeah, it's gonna be weird, people. It's gonna be weird. But until I have a lifestyle of which I can afford, I will have to ease off on the foils a bit. But we've been trying to revert to grey for some time, but look, it's in there. It's in there, the grey. It's in there. Anyway, I got distracted by my parting. Sorry. It's like I don't have ADHD as a diagnosis, but it's like after one of my more recent near-death experiences, I think it was the cholecystectomy. I kind of have ADHD, difficulty focusing. It's getting quite bizarre, people. But anyway, I'm not going on psych meds. I'm coping with life. I'm handling my stuff. But you just have to tolerate me meandering about with my mind. My mind's always been a meanderer. It's probably from brain damage from early childhood. But anyway, you wouldn't want me any other way, babies. My mind meandering and all sorts of lateral, circular, interesting things can be quite entertaining for some. I know my neighbours down the road find it quite delightful when I go off on my little tangents. But anyway, I'll try to keep focus, or these videos end up being extremely long and meander everywhere, and I don't think anyone can tolerate putting up with it, really. It's got very humid now the sun's come out. I'm literally sweating. I've got both windows open and the front door open. I'm going to have to close everything down and put the air conditioning on. Or I'll go and get my fan. I'll get my fan for a while until I can't take it anymore. And then we'll do the air conditioning thing. Okay? This is where we're at, people. This is where we're at. So, that's better. Oh my goodness. Whew. We live in the subtropics, so it's hot anyway. And then add in menopause, and then add in like the change of the sun coming out, beating down, and all the moisture outside, and it really just went like an air curtain of heat. So, not good, darlings, but that's life. That's life in Brisbane, Australia right now. We will survive, and we will thrive, and we will regain our former glory and equilibrium. I am determined. How I'm going to do it, I don't know, but I guess equilibrium could be open to all sorts of interpretations, babies. Better be careful what I ask for. Anyway, that was a dark thought I just had flow through my brain. Push that out. So my readings of even dates start from 2022, which means I had nothing to say in 2023, and I haven't written anything today, but the day's still early yet, but nothing exciting's happened today. Although I got a free beautiful Bowen mango off the tree of the neighbours. I'm going to have to answer that. Sorry, it's problems with my lawnmower. You're driving me batshit. Can you see me frowning, and I'm having to throw my weight around a bit? But honestly, things have to happen at the appropriate time regularly. Anyway, sorry about that interruption in the middle of our video, but that was unexpected. So here we go. Let's get down to business. The business of the Tanya who has to maintain professionalism even though she's not a professional and is floundering around on planet Zog with the odd bods and the bots and the NPCs and whatever other fucking situations I'm having to deal with on a daily basis. So here we go, my darlings. We have a picture here of a beautiful rose from my garden. And you know what? I'm also very frustrated that my camera on my laptop doesn't seem to show bright colour. Has me constantly in this grey sepia mode, which I've tried to look at the settings and I couldn't change it. So that's annoying too, because I hate grey and sepia, unless you really are an ancient photographer or something, then that's okay. But anyway, first world problems, I know. So what was I saying? Oh yes. So I got a free Bowen mango that had fallen off my neighbour's tree, which was massive. It was like this big, and it hadn't been chewed into by anything. So I took it home and I put it on my windowsill to ripen up a bit more. This was only about 3 days ago, and I looked at it today, and it was the skin outside was still quite green, but I thought I could see a little hole where little tiny flies had started to eat into it. So I thought, if the flies are starting to eat into that mango, it must be really, really ripe, almost on the verge of going, what's the word when fruit goes overripe? Not rancid. Anyway, you know what I mean. Getting, wine does it, grapes do it. Come on, what's wrong with my brain? Snap it up. You have a perfect vocabulary in there. Synapse, bitch, synapse. It's coming to me, it's coming to me. It's just on the edge of my synapse. Ferment, here we go. I got there in the end. Oh dear goddess. Yes, it was starting to ferment, and I thought, uh-oh, I better eat that mango, right? So I cut it up this morning, and I sliced it up and opened it up, and I cut out the little fermented bit, and I tell you what, it was a bloody beautiful mango. I'm tempted to go to the neighbours and say, can I buy some of your mangoes from you, because it was so good, and I actually had one off the ground, which was nice, but you know, I want more. Anyway, maybe I won't worry about it. That was my treat. But you know what was astonishing about this mango, right? Charlie does not like mango. Well, the bought ones that I buy, whenever I've tried to give her a mango, won't go anywhere near it. But just for shits and giggles, I thought I'll try her on this mango because it's fresh from the tree, right? It's not pesticided, it's not gassed, it's not held prisoner to human intervention. We'll see if she eats it. Can you believe it? She actually put a little brush tongue and licked into it and actually enjoyed that mango for the first time ever. My Chari ate a mango. She's not fond of fruit really, which is unusual for a rainbow lorikeet. So I thought maybe it was something about mangoes that they don't like, but no, she just doesn't like the ones that come from the shops. Isn't that astonishing? Also a bit of a worry, really. Like, what are they putting into our food? So anyway, she enjoyed that mango with me, and I enjoyed it very much because it was free, and it was actually such a massive Bowen mango, and it was delicious. Usually when you get mangoes off someone's tree in the neighbourhood, they're stringy and bloody awful. So no, those mangoes are fabulous, and I will tell the people that own the tree how fabulous they are, which of course they probably already know. But one should always show gratitude and appreciation for things. That's my practice. I like to show appreciation. I like to participate. I like to be a cheer squad. Because no one ever fucking cheered me on in my childhood, that's for sure. Destabilised, dehumanised, destroyed me, but here we are, rising above it, babies. rising. Good. Readjust my double chin. Rising above it like a queen. Queen of my own destiny. I'm getting there. Are you proud of me? Are you proud of me? I'm proud of me. I guess that's all that matters, is that I'm proud of me. But every now and then my true friends say to me, I'm so proud of you, Tanya. And I'm like, yay, high five. It's been a long freaking journey of self-determination, people, which is why I go a bit rank when I see people being abusive or draconian systems that are abusive. You'll see me go right off my chops because I lived that lifestyle all my life since early childhood. And can we say, fuck that shit? Anyway, yes, I do swear. I learnt every word I ever knew in my swear word vernacular by the time I was 4 years old. And sometimes that is the best way, best and only way to express the horror that we're going through right now. But anyway, 17th of January, we're moving on from my breakfast mango and my Charlie eating the organically grown natural mango, which was amazing. And here I write 2022, so that's 2 years ago now. Time is marching on. I write, I said something wonderful is unfolding for me the other day. As I have these little intuitions or messages from spirit, and sometimes I'm like, what? And other times I'm like, that's profound, I'll go with that. Then my former lover turned up for his weird surveillance. He does every so often, or used to, up until recent memory. Red lights come to mind, but that wasn't deliberate, that was just a synchronicity. Anyway, he did used to keep weird surveillance on me. He must have been really frightened of me on some level, I don't know why. I didn't do anything to him. Just told him when I thought he was being a twat, which was often. But apart from that, I didn't do anything to him. Anyway, then my former lover turned up for his weird surveillance he does every so often. Usually perversely after, so here we go, usually perversely after I tell him to writhe in hell as he disrespects me by rejecting my 4 or 6 monthly phone calls, which, by the way, that all stopped. That was silly of me to even keep a connection going to him because he's just not there, man. It's not anywhere. It's completely feckless. And I must ask myself why I allowed myself to love someone for, almost 10 years who was completely feckless and useless and damaging, by the way. Well, anyway, that's why I'm still in therapy, darlings. That's why I have a therapist who looks after me, keeps me on the straight and narrow as much as he can, because I'm defiant and I like to live my own life and make my own mistakes. Wow. Anyway, I continue on. But energy never lies. It never does, you know. You can deny, you can obfuscate, you can pretend it's just not happening in a far out way, but energy never fucking lies. I felt his approach even though I was seriously denying it this time, as it's long past time I let him go and allowed a new love, a solid, reliable, magnificent lover to manifest in my life in 3D reality instead of the cyclic floundering on a defunct groove in my shattered existence. 2 years it's taken to heal from that. 2 fucking years. With the help, by the way, of Papa Legba, the voodoo god, who I had to invoke because of the him turning up at Crossroads was a bit supernatural and weird. But I observed him walking to his vehicle. I observed, this would have been after drumming. He turned up one time at West End drumming, but he didn't come to the actual drumming circle because he was scared of me. He was just a weird ass. But he walked past and had a good look at me. I thought, right, is this another game you're playing, big boy? The only way to win a game is not to play. So here I write that I observed him walking to his vehicle. I observed him turning to look back at me. The woman who stood in her own defiance, proud and strong, livid at the abandonment and the bullshit games, but every time I cut him loose, he arrives on my periphery, knowing my love is more powerful than death, my own, exactly, my own death either, and his own morose depressions, weakness, and schoolboyish sabotaging games. Funny, innit? Actually, no, it's not funny at all. It's actually awful how he behaved towards me for many years, which is partly why I almost lose my bottle, as they say in England. Well, I'm not English. I almost lose my bottle when a man is sincere and authentic and genuine and romantic and paying me a little bit too much attention. It is delicious. I haven't had that in many, many years. A man who's behaving as though he's deeply in love with me, and I don't know if he is or not, really. Might be another game, but it's been yummy. It's been yummy all the same, and I'm going with that. It's lovely to be adored as a woman. As a woman who's been an asexual celibate for 10 years, it's lovely to be adored. So, to that person that's out in the world, to you, it's just a great shame that he's not available. But that's the way it is, baby. He adores me and I adore him, and it just stays in that little groove, babies. Look, I've got my witchy t-shirt on. Just want to show you. It says, I am magical, I am spiritual, I am blessed, I am unique. I really am unique. What does that? I am one with nature. I am connected to the goddess. Oh dear goddess. Are the goddesses and I connected? And the gods. But the goddess is, she's wanting me to get up to a little bit of mischief lately. She's stirring up all my sexual energies, and I'm like, nah, fool, we can't be doing that, and we can't be doing that. But she's like, fly, Tanya, fly. But that particular goddess that came into my life in 2019, you know, she's been demonized by the Abrahamic religions, my own Jewish religion and Christian religion and Muslim religion, and she was demonized because she's defiant and triumphant. And apparently she became a demon and spawned millions of demon babies. Well, I won't be doing that. We won't be doing that, Lilith. But she's mischievous, of course, since she's classed as the dark goddess. She wants me to have affairs with married men. Does she want me, or is it just an idea that crossed my mind? I won't be doing it. I won't be doing it because it will only create a lifetime of more grief for me, where everyone else gets to walk away happy ever after, and I'll be the one that's distraught, right? Because at the end of the day, I want my own man who loves me deeply, truly, makes a commitment to me, not someone else's man. But I say this, but my spirit knows. My spirit knows how yummy it would be to just be adored and loved maybe for the first time in my life, maybe the first and the last time in my life if it went bad, and it's gone bad before. Just ask. Well, that one before years ago was just cruel and sadistic, so there was that. I don't think this man that is showing me genuine love and affection is doing it to be cruel and sadistic. I think he's just a bit besotted with me because, let's face it, I'm intelligent, I'm witty, and I'm wild, and I'm carefree, and I dance wildly, and I'm exciting. Who wouldn't fall madly in love with me? I'm starting to fall madly in love with myself. Well, maybe I did. Maybe I did, and then I took myself down, as I do. Anyway, I carry on with my reading because it's all a bit weird, people, that I have the goddess with me. So today the gods blessed me with this rose. It's small and alone, but pushed itself out through the heat with a determination to bloom and thrive, babies. In spite of everything, life and love finds its way, reclaims what is truly ours, mine, by heart and soul, and unfurls its colours and permeates the senses with great and abundant beauty and much needed, much valued peace. Shalom. La vie en rose is not for the weak, inept, acopic. It is fought for, cherished, coddled, and created. It is gifted. It is adored. It is a beautification and a blessing. Hold it close. Rejoice. Here it is, Hineni. I'm such a romantic. Sometimes I read my own writings and go, you know what, that's absolutely fabulous, darling, but nobody else gets you because you're just a little bit unique and weird. And the few people that do get you, you know, it's delightful, but we must all be a little bit unique and weird, also highly intelligent and gifted and blessed and astonishingly sweet and loving and kind to each other. And you know what? That's okay. We can do that. That much we can do. I just saw a bird flying away from my fish pond the size of a sparrow or a wren. She had blue stripes down her back. I only caught a brief glimpse of her. She flew into my neighbour Timsah's trees. I shall call her the bluebird of happiness and of truest, deepest love. Why not? It's a hobby. Me manifesting truest, deepest love, by the way, has been a lifetime hobby of largely failure and disappointment, but there's been moments when there was loveliness in my life. There were lovely moments, even with the malfeasant, awful, abandoning, neglectful, sadistic ones. I even have the occasional fond memories of them. Usually me regaining my power over them because they were gimps, but there is that, darlings. A certain wiggle skirt that had frills at the back that I could barely walk in, with my underbust corset and beautiful blouse, blade and all my crystals. Oh yes, that knocked him right off his socks that night. It was delightful. But he made the mistake of dishonouring me and marching ahead into his home and treating me like I was some kind of afterthought. So I took my sweet fucking time to take off all my jewellery, which that evening I had a lot of jewellery on. And he was yelling out, "Are you coming to bed?" like a fucking husband. And that triggered me too, because it's like, you're not my husband, bossing me around. And if you were a gentleman, you would have led me to the bed and undressed me very, very romantically and slowly indeed. But for some odd reason, I still did join him in his bed, and it was a bit of a night to remember, darlings. Me gaining back my power via my sexual attributes. I guess Lilith must have been with me that night too. How long have you been hanging around my energy, Lilith? Because I'm a good Jewish witch, and I don't go into that kind of level of wildness as a general rule of thumb. But every now and then the wild must break out, people, and it's delightful when it does. Delightful and a bit astonishing and a bit terrifying too. Well, anyway, as a consequence of that wonderful magical night, a certain man never quite fucking forgot me, and even though he treated me like garbage and rejected me the next day, he was destined to trawl after me for the next 10 years, trawling after me at red lights. Well, where will you find a woman like that ever again, babies? So, by telling you this story, you can tell that I'm very fucking amused and a little bit mischievous today, can't you? As men like to play me for a fool. They do. They like to think they can dominate me by invalidating my existence, destroying me, killing me, even raping me at times. Rape in the form of really boring, awful sex that I did not invite or invoke, by the way. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen with the last one. No. He was just trying to dominate my energy in other ways. But no. For as a consequence of that, Mama T shut up shop for a very, very long time. And now Mama T is ready to blossom out in all her meridians. Wow. I'm curious to see who is the man worthy of my passion, romance, love, and energies. Who is going to fight to be my man? Not fight me to be my man, and not fight other people to be my man, but fight his own fears and insecurities and pathos and whatever. Because I realised recently, actually, only recently, that I was always a powerful, wonderful goddess, and that real men will recognise that. Real men won't fuck it up either. But here we go. As my beautiful friend pointed out to me when I told him I was an oddball and I'm never going to get it right, he said, "There's no real men out there, Tanya." Really? We'll see about that, my darling. There's a real man out there somewhere, and he won't behave badly to me, and he won't tease, and he won't torment, and he won't debase. He's out there. He's just got to sort himself out. Let me know when he's ready. Don't know who it is. I really don't know who it is. But I'm looking forward to being taken by surprise and delight and magic and wonder and awe. There's a man that can meet my energy. He's someone special. He's not a specialist. He's not a con artist or a charlatan or a playboy or a lackluster cur, but he's someone. That's what I'm waiting for. I'll know when I meet him that he's someone. Anyway, My friend, so I said, I'll call her the bluebird of happiness and of truest, deepest love. Why not? It's a hobby. And then I wrote, sings, every little thing is going to be okay. And my dear friend Jared, who's a brother to me, wrote one of these, and he sent me a photo of a beautiful blue wren. And I said, yes, I think so, although it flew away so fast, I just saw the stripes of blue down its back. Now this was an augury, people, back in 2022, that my love life was going to start to blossom out and manifest. I didn't meet anyone in 2022, I met a few people in 2023 at the casino that weren't suitable, given one was far too young for me, but lovely man, very, very courtly and very affectionate and generous and sweet. Lovely young man he was. Even my friend Jo said he was actually a lovely young man. I said yes. The only reason why I didn't pursue anything with him was he was 40 and I'm 50. Well, last year I met him in May, so I was already 58. But so I got all strung out about the age difference, and you know what? I was an idiot. The age difference shouldn't really matter. Souls incarnate, and we're all different ages. We shouldn't be overly concerned with the age and the physical attributes and look into the soul. And that young man had a beautiful soul. He really did. He was a beautiful young man, soul deep and beautiful, an Aboriginal man of our land, a real man. He was a real man to me. But I decided to be all strung out and worry about the age difference and like, what the fuck? I missed out on something really lovely there. But I was a bit concerned because he hunted roos for a living, and I couldn't bear the thought of a man that kills animals, and, you know, just, I found that a bit off-putting too. So anyway, and then someone pointed out, are you an idiot? It's Aboriginals have hunted animals since time immemorial, and it's completely normal, which is true. So I was an idiot. Told me he makes $4,000 a week, by the way, and was wanting to buy me drinks all night, which I didn't do because I was driving, but he was very generous and sweet. Anyway, that was a milestone in my life last year in May. It was just a couple of months prior to Beauregard dying that I realised there were men lighting up for me, wanting to show me generosity and sweetness and kindness and being supportive and loving to me, and, you know, wanting to show me their love and affection towards me, even my platonic, well, especially my platonic loves. So I knew then that someone is coming. That's how I knew, just watching all the little souls light up in front of me with genuine adoration and admiration of my spirit and my 58-year-old, almost 59-year-old hobbit body, completely scarified with skin cancers and, you know, my shitty fucking health, but men seem to adore me anyway. Isn't that is the biggest magic of all? When you think that you're completely undesirable because you've been so beaten down by ill health and abuse, to see men light up for you and go, no, Tanya, we're looking past all of that. We're seeing you. You. It's lovely. To my true beloved ones, even though we can't consummate our love, I love you deeply. So anyway, so I said to him, yes, that's what I saw, the stripes of blue down its back. And Jared replied, it's a male fairy wren. Females are mainly brown, because I had referred to it as female. And it makes sense, because The male birds of the species are always the pretty ones, right? So I replied, very cool. I have designated it my bluebird of happiness anyway. I might be a tad delusional at times, but I choose to believe in magic, hope, healing, joy, and the kind of love that is eternal, ennobling, and preciously guarded. So, it's juicy and it's coming and it's mine. And I'm very, very grateful for that. It's been decades I've waited for this man to choose me and be my partner. Yes, decades. And whoever he is, he'll have to reveal his true heartfelt intentions soon and follow it up with an actual date and woo me. Maybe I'm kidding myself though. And my friend Michaela wrote, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. And she advised me recently at drumming to just go for it and just make mad passionate love with some gorgeous man. But it's not that easy. It is that easy, but it's complicated. And here I posted an article, a YouTube video from Dr. John Campbell on specialists now agree on endemic ending. And I replied, as I said all along, it will burn itself out naturally. Also, thank the gods for shifting the timelines back to how they should be. True love, good health, prosperity, and evil shown in its true colours and beaten back. Hold strong, hold true. This is coming to an end. And I'll look forward to when my neighbours will invest in nicer colour paintwork to do their fences in their houses instead of the putrid, ugly grey. But look, I have to turn the laptop around to show you my window visage because I'm not using my iPhone anymore. But look, the sun is out. Sunshine and happiness reigns supreme in psychedelic dreamers world. Yes. Yes, Tanya. Right, where were we? 17th of January 2021. So that's 3 years ago. Are we still recording? I haven't switched this off. No. Good. So if I did that with my iPhone, it would have gone click and turned us off. Because my iPhone is evil. I'm having to do these videos on my laptop because I've got no more storage and it wouldn't let me clear cache and clear things. It's driving me mental. And then in the process of that, I actually deleted photos and videos I wanted to keep, which I will now never get back. So I fucking hate my phone right now. I absolutely hate it. I'm still paying it off for another 18 months, so I'll be hating it for a long time. Unless I win lotto, which is not going to happen. So I'll be hating my iPhone for a long time. 17th of January 2021. I am so grateful that those 3 summers of intense tooth pain are over. I almost suicided. It was so bad. That particular day, wow. I prayed all night, then passed out with exhaustion. I did. Then next morning went to see the dentist to insist they look at my teeth yet again. They had missed a cavity under the gum line and had spent months telling me I was mad and somatizing or imagining the pain. I was livid. Then a quick filling and my ordeal was over. The This is our medical system here in Australia, gaslighting the patient, telling them that she's writhing in agony for 3 fucking years. And they would have been so delighted if I'd actually suicided, by the way, but I didn't. I'm still fighting on every single day for my little spot on planet Earth in Brisbane, Australia, by the gods. Oh yes, yet still I adhere to my truth, because fuck them, I will not be silenced. And that was in response to a meme that says, be careful with what you tell people. A friend today could be an enemy tomorrow, which is true. But I speak my truth at all times. So if you're going to use it against me, stick to the facts, babies, because the truth is what you'll be dealing with when you come for me. Can you stand in your own light and truth and integrity? No, they can't. An entire global paradigm built up on gaslighting and abuse. Just saying. 17th of January 2020. Oh, this is cute. I posted this little article on this because I thought it was cute. We've got a reflection. Oh, here he is. See this happy little face? This little tortoise? Just tickled my sense of humour. This playboy tortoise had so much sex, he saved his entire species. That'll be a new excuse for the human men, won't it? Oh, don't mind me. I'll just be quick in and out. I'm just saving our species. Oh, dear goddess. Well, my reply was, I wonder when or if I will have that same smirk again. Ha ha ha. But at least I no longer have the procreation of an entire species resting on my loins. Or should we say, happy little tortoise, looks like he needs a cigarette. Me, I wrote, me, kintsugi'd, my heart is whole, but it's a patchwork quilt, forever unravelling and being carefully reconstructed. In other words, I'm in a constant state of deconstruction and reconstruction, and there's layers upon layers on my heart of kintsugi'd spiritual gold, and it's a little bit formidable, darling. And I posted a quote from Rabbi Tzvi Freeman, who's a Kabbalist, or writes about Kabbalah anyway. So one assumes he's a Kabbalist. Pardon me. When you find the infinite, where will you put it? My tea's cold. I forgot about my tea. It will not stay. In a new whole one, it will not fit. Let the heart be broken in bitterness for its confines. Let it be whole in the joy of a boundless soul. This is the secret that the human being holds over the angels. Only the human heart can be broken and whole at once. So that's true, Rabbi Tzvi Freeman. I've lived that dream a long, long time. Here's a photo of my handsome beau. Can you see him? He sort of looks like a little almost tiny alien dog there because his ears are flipped over inside out. He snuggled in closer to my thigh and gave a little contented doggy sigh. Happiness is the Beauregard. And yes, he was my happiest, most devoted, loving dog god, and I miss him every single day. Glorious rain again. Whimsical thought. I didn't die on 22nd of August 2015 or excuse me or on 25th of June 2019 or in that weird little event on 26th of November 2019. But I hung on like a limpet to cragged rocks in a wild, tumultuous tempest. Other things died instead, my beautiful pets and many friendships. I think I have even finally let go of an old love that only ever played me for a fool. When a new potential suitor started playing the same awful psychological games, I ditched him faster than a cat leaping off an electrified roof. Because life is too short, and I have wasted my life on the foulest of false bastards. The time has come, the walrus said, a good old clearing out of detritus after the storm is needed. Then resurgence and grow more into myself and see what pans out from there. I am happy this morning. Nothing like finding out who all the using, lying parasites were and or are, and clearing them out to have a fresh perspective on life. I have no idea where to go from here, but I am sitting in my sacred space garden, breathing light and sunshine, while Beauregard is lying gratefully on the wet grass. The rain has also refreshed us. I think we might get some more. I had a weird dream that my childhood friend Philip wrote me a long, almost illegible letter about his mother. I struggled to read it. It was about 16 pages long. In the dream, I wondered why he was writing about Muriel, as she died some years ago. It's the second time in weeks that I have dreamt about him. I would make contact, but I don't think that's a good idea after the last time he got a little carried away. I will offer up a prayer that he is safe and well, then let it go. So relieved that at least my teeth are better this year. Instead of losing teeth, I am divesting of toxic friends left, right and centre. I feel like I am in the spin cycle of a giant washing machine, shaken, not stirred, rattled relentlessly, but will come out cleansed and renewed for a new cycle, Be'ezrat Hashem, by the will of God. And so I did. I've come out ready to invite a true, deep, loyal, faithful to me, lover man into my life. And I'm excited about the potentials that, are blossoming slowly but surely, day by day, moment by moment, breath by breath. Even though I don't have contact with, anyone regularly, I'm circumspectly observing who's consistently showing me that their love is real. It's delightful. Who will be holding my hand at the end when the world dies? Possibly no one, but possibly someone wonderful and loving and kind to me. It's in the lap of the gods, my darlings. Maybe one day it'll be in my lap too. 17th of January 2019. One of my most powerful manifestations and or affirmations I made last year, early in 2018, was I asked the universe, to surround me with positive, loving, loyal, life-enhancing people, i.e. friends, a partner, family, my community, my tribe. Since making that most earnest, heartfelt request, I witnessed many friends leave my life, which was astonishing. People I had loved and above all trusted and confided in. People I had put a lot of time and energy into, only to be viciously betrayed. Yes, it hurts, but I'm seeing the big picture here. The universe and or God is swiftly removing all people that are not truly loving or supportive of me in such a way that reveals their own false and ugly, treacherous hearts and actions. The truth will always be revealed, people, if you look with clear-seeing eyes. In a way that my infinitely stupid, forgiving heart can no longer go into Pollyanna denial or cognitive dissonance and allow these people any further chances to be part of my inner circle ever again. God is the true judge, and in all honesty, he tried to protect me from these creeps before, but I was unable to perceive the level of evil and foulness they harboured for me. In my naivete, I thought more of them than they ever actually deserved. So tonight, I am rebirthing a new paradigm for myself, a life untainted by despotic, psychotic, evil, vicious, borderlines and sociopaths. I shall rejoice in my own thriving. It is coming. It is here. It's taken years, people, but the thriving is here. I call upon the gods to mete out just and righteous punishment to the degree they have earned it. As they have sown, so shall they reap. I am grateful for the becoming and the healing of the sea today, for good and true friends, and for my beautiful pets, and for the privilege of life itself, which unfurls exponentially and brings great wisdom and balance to those who awaken to truly see it. Update 2020, a year later, and just wow. I I put in brackets, because it's not really a loss if they were false and vicious and backstabbing. It's actually the best thing that can happen to a woman is to have false friends leave your life. And false lovers, by the way. Just saying. You know who you are. I lost 3 friends in the past few days, but they were manipulative and cloying, so it's not a loss really. I had a laugh when the last one devalued the lovely gift of the fairy online in front of thousands of people. Put my artwork down. Disgraceful. I put a lot of work into my art and especially knitting those fairies. Each one had a lot of my personal mana. Mana is Māori for power, spiritual power. Mojo is another word for it. Mana, which I have in spades, people, after surviving my entire life. It's not wise to dishonour my mana, especially since I loved that woman dearly. She's a dear friend to me. She actually did come to save my life when I had my suicide attempt, because she could hear the spirits calling out to her to go and check on me. So for her to do that was just odd and extreme and awful. She actually had begged for that particular fairy, then now says it freaks her out. What? The thing is not haunted. Well, now I suppose it is, since it catalysed the end of a long friendship. It's just insane. And she posted it back to me, and I still cherish that little doll because I put so much work into it and love it. And I take her when I have my very rare presentations, when I turn up to a market somewhere, which was last time at Kilcoy, and again my fairies were disparaged by the fucked up fundamentalist Christians that lived there, that were so rude and othering to me with my fairies, my knitted fairies and my displays of my jewellery, because I use tarot cards to display my jewellery. And they were just so hostile and rude. It was by and large an awful experience that day, except for one sweet family that came late in the evening who actually bought from both myself and Jared and were very sweet and encouraging and told me not to sell my fairies too cheaply and to, value, put higher value on my goods and on myself. And to that beautiful woman that passed on that message, I knew when they stood in front of my market stall. I turned to Jared, I said, here they come, our people who vibe with us, people who get our mystical and mythical and magical walk, people who will treat us with kindness and sweetness and honour, which was much needed after the horrors of rude people that we encountered during the course of that day. And by the way, my friend Jared became very ill and I almost called an ambulance. He was so ill. So it was a spiritually innovated and elevated and almost life-threatening freaking day for Jared, and it was intense. So we won't be going to the markets ever again, I don't think. It was just too arduous. But yes, Christians are frightened of fairies, which is astonishing. Fairies are earth energies, our earth that we are seeded into for our soul journeys, by the way. How dare they dishonour the manifestations of our very earth. Anyway, I continue after I said I suppose it catalysed the end of a long friendship. It's just insane, all of it. I give and give and give of my own handiwork and heart and get shat on and these people expect me to grovel in the dirt for any scraps of attention. No, just no. Dishonouring of my spirit is not permitted by anyone. I don't care how much I love you. As soon as that shit starts, sayonara, sweethearts. I might be broken, having to part with someone I love dearly, but dishonouring of my spirit, abusing me, trashing me, dehumanising me, dishonouring of my art and my output. As soon as that happens, that connection has become toxic and evil and will have to be severed. Dishonouring of my spirit is not permitted. I have finally learned to love myself enough. Today at the beach, some people there, this is a news story, people. Today at the beach, some people there asked my dog's name. Beauregard, I replied. Their son, who was about 18 or 19, and his mother laughed. The mother said, "Oh, that's hilarious." But the son said, "Violet Beauregard, from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory." I have had Bobo in my life since he was 6 weeks old. Pardon me. He is currently 3 years and 3 months old. And his name was gifted to me 2 days before I even met him by spirit, or my higher mind, subconscious. And I remember vividly trying to figure out where I had ever heard the name Beauregard before at that time. I was still a bit high from all the colonoscopy drugs in my system back then. That and the marijuana my friend of the fairy fecklessness had imparted to me, and I was not good to mix that with colonoscopy drugs, people. It was not a good mix at all. But anyway, I'll tell you that story one day, but I don't want to encourage anyone in dabbling in psychotropics. Just saying. Jared and I had to laugh, as I also have Charlie Bird at home, and I do rather adore chocolate, so a chocolate factory chez moi would not be out of the ordinary, laughing my ass off. I actually liked the name, which popped randomly into my head, as it is French for beautiful gaze or beautiful outlook, and the beau came into my life only 4 months after my suicide attempt in 2015, and even the gods, dog gods, knew I needed a loving, loyal, faithful companion to give me a reason to hold on in ugly, turgid times. All hail Odin, all the gods, and the Holy One, of course. They really know what I need in life and bless me accordingly in their own time and space, including that really intense trip I had on the mixture of the colonoscopy drugs with the cannabis. That was fucking astonishing, people. I will tell you a little bit about it. Don't recommend doing it though, it was a bit frightening, but I was watching trees breathing. It was one of the most profound and beautiful experiences of my life. I was also trying to merge with the walls and become one with the walls. I was felt like all my cell structure had broken down and I was just pure spirit and could walk through walls. And to be fair, my friend Julie did freak out. She was a bit worried about me that day. But anyway, the breathing trees. Trees, of course, do breathe, just not like us. So I was reminded to return to my nature as a woman and as a spirit, and to honour my gods. And it was a potent and powerful lesson that I received from that experience. But it was potentially a little bit dangerous, because at one point I was looking down the staircase, which was like only one story up, but I was considering throwing myself down because, yes, the damaged part of my brain from years of abuse still has a tendency to want to leave this physical existence behind and into the void, right? And for which the gods do not permit, and keep me here stolidly and determinedly, because they want me to have my true love partner in my wonderful life that was promised to me when I was a young girl. They want me to manifest it, they want me to live it, they want me to love it, and they want me to be the best version of myself, to co-create with the gods, as I have always tried to do even since early childhood. And they want me to have my true lover man choosing me morning, noon and night by his own free will, in his own body, mind and spirit and soul, although his soul belongs to the Holy One, whether he knows that or not. That's my belief system. We're just on loan here on planet Earth. Our souls belong to the Ein Sof All, and we return eventually. But in the meantime, we're just here in this cosmic play, working life out one day at a time, and standing with our true loves who are proud and happy to be with us in public and in private. And what's astonishing about this man showing me great affection in recent months is that he's not actually available to be my lover or partner in any real way, but in public he expresses his affection to me quite openly, and I find that the most beautiful gift I have ever received in my life. A man who's proud and happy to be seen with me and to show his affection towards me in public. Not like the last lover from 10 years ago who scurried ahead of me pretending he didn't know me, even going into his home like I was some leftover piece of trash. Because I will not ever tolerate that ever again. So this man that I'm really adoring shows me, even though he says there's no real men available to me in the club, he has behaved like a real man towards me. I don't think he watches my videos, but if he does, I want you to know that you're a real man, and I'm so proud of you. When I made my little quip, "Make me proud, baby," you could see it as being sardonic and sarcastic and, a bit unkind, but no, that's not my intention when I said that. You've already made me proud. You've shown me your true heart, that you're a good, kind, loyal, loving man. And that is why you and I are friends, because that's the kind of people I want to be in my life. Noble, decent, loving, kind people, men and women who have my back and my front. Because gods know, if our world gets even more crazy and destabilised and barbaric, we will need our tribe of people we know we can trust with our lives, who treat us with honour and integrity, and who will love us deeply and truly and honouringly, who'll be there for us in dark times as well as in the beautiful, joyful, loving times that we will manifest from our own hearts, souls, body and minds. Because I'm determined. That's the future I want for myself anyway. Can't speak to anyone else. I want my tribe, people who adore me and value me, not the other malfeasant, lackluster, treacherous, backstabbing curs that I had for many years surrounding me, thinking that they were true friends, right? Who were stabbing me in the face and in the back at every opportunity. But I proved something to those people. I got through this entire COVID epoch alone. I mean, I had the support of my psychiatrist and I had the support of my few very rare and precious friends. But by and large, I did this alone. So, if shit gets any more dangerous or weird or subterranean, I'm quite prepared to keep fighting on alone. But I don't want that. I want my true love partner. And I want my friends and his friends that include me and accept me too. I want us to be our tribe, to have each other. I want us to be together. Not for any anarchy or chaos or anything ugly, don't get me wrong, but to at least know that we have a network of people who vibe together and understand our walk, who we are as humans on this planet, and know what is needed to thrive safely and honouringly. Maybe I'm idealist, maybe it'll never happen for me. But you, my darling, are a real man. You've included me and you've treated me with sweetness and kindness. And I love you for that. Just that on its own. No other segues. Just that. A good, kind man. And there are other men in the world like you too. I'm sure there are who will choose to be a partner to me in the right appropriate time. The one. There'll be one out there like you who's kind and loving and honouring, but also is available to be my sexual partner as well, for a healthy, joyful, nurturing, loving sexual partnership. But in the meantime, Mama T does what Mama T has always done. Arrives, dances wildly and joyously, triumphantly and defiantly and magically, goes home alone until such time as the gods permit me to have a loving partner of my own. That's mine. Its heart is cleaving only to me. And it could happen one day. Anyway, I continue writing here. This is back in 2019. Home from a gorgeous day at Cuchimudlo Island. I got very sunburnt in spite of the sunscreen. Just not good given my proclivity to punch out skin cancers. But it was all well worth it. Beauregard had a great day too. 17th of January 2018, 12:11 p.m. Up and at 'em, I got a few hours kip. Beautiful day. 7:30 a.m. Woken up by tree loppers grinding stumps. Bastards woke me up early yesterday morning with their chainsaws too. I'm starting to feel a little homicidal. That's not literally, people. But you know, having your sleep interrupted early in the morning is kind of rude. 3:36 a.m. Woken up by Sophie rampaging through the hallway. Barely 2 hours sleep and a lot of pain with my feet, but I have not stopped plutzing around the house since Saturday and went dancing on Friday. So not enough rest and time to recover, I suppose, apart from my day at Coochie, and we walked a fair bit. I think I am hypomanic as well as that bloody crazy calico cat. I will put my excess nervous energy to good use tomorrow by finishing the housework. Then I have a debrief at 3 p.m, so if I haven't settled down after that, I will have to take a Valium to knock myself out, which I don't take Valium anymore. I try not to have any medical, pharmaceutical interventions at all anymore, which is why I'm not happy about needing to start on a new drug for my bladder, but I'll give it a go and see if there's any improvement. Anyway, Lila Tov, Boker Tov. Latanya is going to attempt some more Z's. The psychedelic dreaming continues. I was just thinking I haven't had the script sent to me yet. I better chase that up. 12:44 a.m. Still going. I have made my bed. Woot. Time for a drink of water, then hopefully sleep. 17th of January 2017. 5:23 p.m. My teeth are still stinging like 1,000 tiny firecrackers have been set off inside them. Awful it was. Also battling nausea, earache, heat. I've spent the day alternating between wanting to run and jump in front of a train, to snoozing, to talking myself down. Not depressed, but really stressed from the chronic pain. So what did I do for the past hour? Read my posts from 2015 and 2016, only to realise my craving to move to Byron was huge back then, and that 2015 was a horrid year, and these health issues that dog me have been endless. So what to do? Just keep moving forward. Crawl, walk, dance, fly, but never quit until the end. Oh, I'm going to itch now. Itchy. Sometimes my skin cancer sites get itchy. I don't know why. Oh, yuck. Yuck. But I'm still gorgeous, darlings. Gotta laugh. You've got to laugh at yourself sometimes. My friend Margaret Jakovac. Those teeth of yours are proving a nasty start to 2017. Prayers to you for better behaving fangs and gums. Update 2020. So relieved that at least my teeth are better this year. Instead of losing teeth, I am divesting of toxic friends left, right and centre. I already read that earlier, didn't I? Feel like I'm in a spin cycle of a giant washing machine, shaken, not stirred. Yes, I did read that earlier. So that's a repeat of that. I just realised I've been hanging on to my life by the skin of my teeth, literally, for almost 52 years. Now even my teeth can't take it anymore, crumbling and disintegrating. Time to build a new life, with or without teeth. Well, that's a humbling thought. With or without teeth, hope or love. I can do it, done it many times, too many times, but there is always one more time. It hurts to eat, it hurts to hear, it hurts to see, it hurts to believe. But even a caterpillar gnaws its way through life, then does not know how it will ever fly or become an extraordinary creature of beauty, lightness of being that can only survive to mate and then dies. Maybe that's why I want my true love partner. It's my last hurrah, right? Possibly. I wonder if there are butterflies in the world to come. Will I sit and look back on this life with satisfaction or regret? So many things I could have been other than me, but I chose me, and me is all I have for now. I had to get to know the real me. Some of it was ugly, tainted, taunted, and tricked. But most of the Tanya is amazingly beautiful and strong, lovely, lovable, worthy. In spite of her fury and her grief, the lies she was told, and her own desultory delusions. Inclusion into the void. Bring it on, baby. Crystal Skyped me and suggested I download the Kindle app. Oh my, so many books. I am currently reading The Valley of Amazement by Amy Tan in paperback. I am a slow reader, been reading it for over a month but thoroughly enjoying it. Now I have another dozen books lined up to read on Kindle. Keeps me out of mischief. I have been to the doctor and chemist to pay them, put some petrol in the car, now waiting for the lawnmower man to arrive. My teeth are all jangling again, nerve pain. I also bought Hydrolyte as I think I need rehydrating. It's another scorching hot day. I'm just going to lie around and heal my ear today. Between the ear pain and the tooth pain, I am a picture of misery, but life will go on and I will get through this. Again. 17th of January 2016. An article by newscientist.com. 6 in hospital after French pain relief drug trial goes wrong. This is why you know I'm so against Big Pharma, by the way. They kept me mollycoddled on psych meds for 15 years, shuffling and drooling with involuntary arm movements for which they put me on Cogentin, which sent me blind for 5 days, by the way. It's not good. You're better off on medical marijuana than all that other shit, if you must take something. Here I write, holy fuck, morons. Just let terminal or mentally ill people have medical marijuana. It's natural and won't kill you, for fuck's sake. That's my opinion on that, people. I'm so in love, welling up in waves of happiness. Even if my beloved never becomes my own, I can live off this feeling for days. Oh dear goddess, what year was that? Today on 2016. Well, there you go. My love was and is and always shall be real, people. Just wish I could find someone who honours my love and returns it to me wholeheartedly and can be a real man and a partner to me. Jesus. It doesn't matter because I am blessed by the gods, regardless of what any mortal man thinks of me. I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine. It's a bit of a jealous God though, that Yahweh. Cut me some slack, please, Yahweh. It's time. It's time I had what was taken from me over the many decades. Return to me to the power of 10. True and loving man. What do you reckon about that? I guess he has his own agenda, the Holy One. I don't dare question him on that. I just throw a tantrum every now and then. Keeps the Holy One very amused when I throw my tantrums. He loves it. He loves it, doesn't he, when I do my Shaymana wild dancing, which is a form of a tantrum in a way. Get to express myself and not repress myself and let it all out. Self-righteous suicide and zombie. You've got to laugh, darlings. But it's beautiful. My spirit is beautiful and fierce and determined and loves for no other reason but that she was put on this earth to love, like every other mortal on this planet. 1:34 p.m. Back in the room, kept falling asleep. Without Seroquel, as I don't have any, but so exhausted I didn't need it to sleep. It feels good to have a natural sleep. Not that Seroquel is actually, it's not actually prescribed for sleeping. It's I was on a very, very low dose antipsychotic for my anxiety, but it used to knock me out all the time. So although it wasn't intended to be a sleep remedy, it made me sleep an awful lot. Also made me hugely, hugely fat too. And don't forget the drooling and the shuffling that went along with it. Oh dear goddess. So now you know why I'm relishing and being back in my own mind, body and spirit, and even inviting a true love into my life, which is a really risk-taking exercise for the psychedelic dreamer who's never been loved in a healthy, constructive way before and only ever been abused. That's a leap of faith of epic proportions that I'm even inviting you, the right man, into my life, because I won't know who is the right man until it's proven many, many, many times consistently to be real and true and noble and honouring of me and my spirit. It's terrifying, people. It's actually terrifying. So here we go. But Seroquel also helps regulate my mood. Did it? Did it really? It just turned me into a munted down automaton. So off to the chemist I go on payday. Ridiculous to be this poor. I bought cat biscuits to tide us over until Tuesday, with a loan from Dave. Back in the day when he was actually being, well, pretending to be some sort of friend to me. Very good. The animals come first as they don't have opposable thumbs and can't eat pancakes. Crystal Skype messaged me from Cardiff in Wales. The audition went well, but the venue was too isolated to get to without transport. Fuck it. She has had such rotten luck over in the UK and Ireland. I pray she gets work real soon, or she will have to come home and her entire trip will have been wasted. Why, oh why, can't the gods be kind to the Aaron's girls? We are such good people. Like, we really are. We really are good women. It's just so unfair. Crystal works so hard and is so talented. It makes my blood boil. The family curse continues unabated. Fuck the Phillips, Meyer, Aaron's genes and their rotten luck and mental health issues. I thought in my superstitious way that Crystal kissing the Blarney Stone might bring her luck and opportunities in her craft. Ireland was hard work for little money, and she was exploited as a Christmas elf. One good thing was she finished her play she has been writing. Hopefully she will debut it over in London. As for me, hanging between the Sephiroth with my broken Klepot and praying for a nice, soft, warm, loving landing. I hope he takes me soon. I'm pretty much done. Sigh, sighs. But I guess I'm too entertaining to the Holy One. Best soap opera in the world. Sad but true. Watch the psychedelic dreamer crawl and get up, rise and shine, glitter and gleam, feel great and powerful and splendid for about 5 minutes in eternity, then poke a stick at her and watch her fall down again, juggling my life and characters like a ball you kick up in the air. What are those things called? The hippies use them. Oh yes, happy sack? Yes, Hashem and all the other gods have great sport with me. Sometimes they try to convince me they are on my side. Wow! When that happens, on rare occasions, even I, at my cynical best, drop to my knees in homage. Well, faint really. There is nothing more awesome than seeing evidence of God and him, her, it co-creating with you. I wish I saw more of that. Be careful what you wish for, Tanya. Be careful what you wish for. It's been a lot of co-creating in the last 3 years. So I'm happy with that. Like the miracle when I fell out of the QPSA bus and something greater than me saved me by helping me lift myself up mid-air in my high heels and turn 180 degrees and landed on my feet like a cat. Not smashing my head in on the curb like I was going to be. That was a wow moment. That was when I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I had angels protecting me. At a time in my life when I wished for death almost every day and was so ill I could barely drag myself up the stairs to the reception office. I was kept in that job, protected again by the rehabilitation officer, my friend Rosie, and the sweet nurses down at the medical office who fussed over me like a child. Also young Ephraim, who always made me smile, and our lovely lunches our little group had each day in order to stay sane and debrief with each other. I remember how everyone pulled together to help me put on a bat mitzvah for Jasmine. Even the catering staff made a huge container of guacamole and other snacks for the party. I mean, I paid for it, but it was very kind of them to help me out at short notice. Rosie made stuff. Lynn and Peter helped too. I had so much food left over because half the people I invited didn't show up, even though they said they were coming. Bastards. We ate guacamole for a week, laughing my ass off. That was over 15 years ago now. I was so poor, living in Logan under constant attack. I barely made it to work. Then after that traineeship ended, I got work at the Queensland Fire Service at Kedron. The abuse intensified. It was so horrendous I rang Rosie and told her I had walked out of the job and was going to throw myself under a train because I didn't like failing and I was already deeply traumatised after years of intense threat. So the temptation was there, people. Rosie, bless her, a well-seasoned registered nurse, burst out laughing. Over a job, Tanya? For fuck's sake, go home, take a Valium and go to bed. I did just that. I was so shattered mentally, I never worked again, except in my own garden. Where was I? Oh yes, entertainment. My dog just gave me a lovely cuddle, and he is not normally a cuddly sort of a fella. Penny held hands, her paw in my hand, on the bed. I love when she does that. They know when I am emotionally bleeding and fatigued. Even Bobo knows and keeps himself amused for a few hours, playing with his toys or Mushu. I can't wait until he has his last parvo shot and he and I can go to parks for walks and out in the world. He will love that and it will do me good too. Oh, my wrist is getting sore from fanning. I need a break. Oh, yowza, yowza, yowza. 17th of January 2015. Hot, hot, hot in the city tonight. I slept all day, so I will be out to play. 6:55 a.m. Finally going to sleep after being on Pal Talk. My new Sicilian friend taught me a few words in Italian in case I need them. Winky face. I'm really happy but exhausted, so looking forward to snuggling with Penny and Mushu. So I'll explain that. At the casino, back in those days, I had this Italian lover named Marco, who had a partner at home, right? So it was not good. It was not good. Any of that was not good. And he'd come and he'd slather all over both me and my friend who's hailed from Tel Aviv in Israel, Sigal. Sigal was deeply in love with him. Sigal suffers from schizophrenia and talks to voices, and she's a beautiful woman, and I'm convinced that she's actually psychic too. Some of the voices she talks to were giving very lucid and very logical, contextual answers. I said to her, are you talking to discarnate voices or are you talking to spirits? And she just looked at me. I said, I think you're psychic, Sigal. And she nodded. But there were times that she was quite floridly mad too, but I'm quite convinced that, like me, she had abilities. She had more abilities than me, actually. I watched her one day have a conversation with at least 5 invisible entities and nodding and smiling, responding as if talking to a group of people. I sat and I watched her, observed her. I realised she was talking to entities. It wasn't hallucinations. And if you watch Jerry Mazinski talking about schizophrenics and schizophrenia and how they're drugged out of their fucking skulls, the problem isn't actually so much really a mental illness, is in that they are actually under some form of possession and are actually talking to entities. But anyway, that's my observation of my friend Sigal, who she was driven out of the casino in May, a few months before I was, on the 5th of August. Part of why I was driven out, by the way, was because I defended her. Because the security staff accused her of stealing. And I said, Sigal's got mental health issues, yes, but she's never been a thief, ever, ever. She danced there for over 20 years. She danced there even longer than I had. I'd been there for about 13 years. So why would they suddenly accuse her of stealing, right? Because they knew she'd be too mentally ill to discern if she had or she hadn't, and would just accept that as the truth. Seagull's not a thief, and what they did to her was evil beyond belief. And I hope that entire fucking casino loses so much business that they go broke after the way they treated her and I. It was evil, absolutely evil. So of course when I defended her, I knew I'd be the next one to be harried out of that space, and I was. But Seagull was a good woman, really, and she was so in love with this Italian guy that we had both shared. I'm not proud of it, especially when I found out he had a partner at home. I was pretty fucking disgusted that I'd been seduced and led down that pathway and lied to. But he was wild, and he was passionate, and he was a bit sexy, and he was also quite mad in many ways too. It's not always the good picture of mental health, that one. And how I worked that out was I'd be on my spot, right, doing my characteristic wild dance, shamanic dance as I call it, my shamaniac dance, and he would bring Seagull and dance right behind me because he still had the hots for me, you know. We'd had two occasions where we'd had a night of wild passion, which, as I say, I'm not proud of. When I found out he had a partner, the bastard. And then he would bring Seagull to dance. He'd press himself right up behind me. I think he had some fetish that he was going to have a threesome with us or some fucked up shit like that. That's not how I roll, people. I'm a one-woman man and a one-man woman. Don't fuck me over with your polyamorous fucked up fantasies. I find that sick and degrading. It might work for you if that's your lifestyle, but don't bring that home to Mama T. It's not going to happen, babies. So anyway, Marco, the Italian stallion, writhing passion, and let's face it, I was lonely then, so I got tempted on a couple of occasions. By the love of all the gods. Well, we can blame Lilith for that one. Lilith would have had a play in that, trust me. Well, anyway, so he would come up and he'd press up against me. I would just freeze him completely out. I would literally put my hand. And Seagull, who was deeply in love with him, not realising how psychopathic it was, right? She would just dance around him and I. She was fond of me. We were kind of casino friends for many years. And she would dance, and she'd be a bit oblivious to how awful it was that he was pushing into me with her, and knowing that I knew that he had a thing with her going too, right? Oh, it was just fucking vapor. So anyway, I was telling this Sicilian guy on Paltalk at the time about this situation, and he said, oh, next time he turns up, because he didn't turn up regularly. He did in the early years, but as the years went on, appeared less frequently, right? But my Sicilian friend on Paltalk said to me, oh, he says, next time Marco turns up, he said, and he's annoying you. I said, well, that's a given. He said, say, faccio di minchia. I said, what does that mean? He said, fuck face. So I did. It was a bit immature of me, I must admit. But I could just see the delight in the mischief. There's nothing like being sworn at in your own native language by someone who's not a native speaker, right? So the next time Marco turned up with trawling Seagull in my face, you know, which I never was angry with Seagull. She wasn't mentally well enough to work it out really how awful it was. I think it was a bit over her head, and you know, it was a bit crass, but I don't think she was doing it maliciously. Any other woman I would have knocked a block off, seriously, but I had a lot of care and compassion towards Sigal because of her mental health issues, and we're both Jews, right? And it's not uncommon for Jewish women in the community to have to share the same fucking man. It had happened to me before with Davidson, who at least was single though at the time, but it was just awful how we all had to share these fucking dogs. Thought they were kings but behaved like dogs, and it was just heartbreaking and ignoble and awful, but we all had to kind of rise above it over time, right? Well, I wasn't going to be rising above the Marco situation because I'd already done that, years previously, and I wasn't going to live that fucking nightmare ever again. So he turns up and gathers up Sigal and flies over to me with his obsessional lust for me. And I turned to him. I said, what are you doing here? He says, you'll always be my girl. I'll always love you. This is his patter, right? He's completely insincere, by the way. You'll always be my girl, Tanya. You'll always... And I'm just looking at Sigal going, you must say that to her too, right? So I looked at him, I said, get thee to Napoli, Faccio di minchia. Wow! He stood back in horror and threw his hands up, very Italian. Why you talk to me like this? I love you, and why you do it this time? I realised the man was mad. He's completely mad. I said, you're completely mad. I said, why are you hanging around me with Sigal? I said, go dance over there, get away from me. So he did. He took her and he danced on the other side of the live wire. And then he came back to me again because he was obsessive and a bit possessive. And of course I'm not flirting with any of the men. I'm just doing my wild dance as per normal. And he would sort of appear again. And but yes, it was actually quite comical that I had that little phrase, Faccio di minchia. And then years later, there was a name that cropped up with the COVID epoch, Dr. Fauci. I laughed my ass off when I heard that name. Faccio di minchia, fuckface. He's been proven to be a fuckface too in recent days, making announcements about that he admitted that all those things, all those draconian regime ideologies like 6 foot distancing and mask wearing was all based on nonsense and nothing really. They made it up. It's hilarious. Faccio the fuckface. Wow. You see, eventually the truth always comes out. So, yes. But Marco and I, well, there was, like I wrote about, I think in my diary a few days ago, that memory of us kidding around being just like teenagers and being playful. There was some happy memories even of him. But man, he was a psychopath. He was a psychopath. Even Dave got jealous of him one time and said, who's that guy with the chiseled jaw? It's got nothing to do with you, who that guy is. I mean, really, the nerve of it. The nerve of it. That none of them wanted me. They didn't want me to have anyone either. This is the nerve of it, the insanity. So, couldn't make a commitment to me, be a decent, loving partner to me. But God forbid I moved on and took another lover. Who did that grind their gears? Ooh. They're quite happy for me to be an asexual celibate for the rest of my life, be all alone and isolated and tortured in this weird fucking world we live in. Nuh-uh, fool. Mama T's opening up to love and passion and romance again. And the right man comes along. proves to me he's authentic and genuine and is ready and willing to be my man, he's going to be a very fortunate, very satiated, very blessed man indeed. But I'll have to know he's for real this time. I had too many fucking lackluster dogs like the Marco and the Dave, and there were a few others in that time frame who let me down very, very badly indeed. So I should get a t-shirt that says, "What would Lilith do?" Well, we know what Lilith would do, the real Lilith. Ride them like bitches and leave them for dead. So we won't do that because that's not nice either. Little bit of decorum, darlings. Little bit of decorum. So I carry on reading. I just thought you'll find that funny about the Fauchos and the Faucis and the Marcos and the reason why I don't want triangular love affairs or polyamorous love affairs or any kind of playboy love affair really. Why I'm putting out to the multiverses that I want a real man who can commit to me and be loving and kind and decent and honouring. That I can send him out into the world and not have to worry about him, tuning up some other woman and luring her into some seduction or into his bed. A man who loves me deeply with all that he is, with eyes only for me, darlings. Sounds like a spell, doesn't it? It is a spell in a way. It's an affirmation and a manifestation of the kind of man I want to be in my life with me. Truly, deeply loving of me and only me. Anyway, I continue reading. 4:04 a.m. I got home at 3:45 a.m. I had a wonderful night dancing with my beautiful women friends at the casino. It was awesome. The band was good too. Now soaking in a hot Epsom salt bath as I can't feel my feet. Pure agony as I had to walk from the casino to Alice Street, where I parked near the Botanical Gardens. Some man walking past me in Alice Street said to me as he walked past, "Ciao, Bella." I nodded politely. I was close to my car, so all good, as I was pretty exhausted, so worried he might jump me. "What is it with the Italian energy lately?" laughing my ass off. When I first arrived at the casino, the security guy told me I couldn't come in wearing my corset. I said, "That's ridiculous. I wear corsets here all the time." He rang management upstairs, who told him I was fine. Damn straight. Far out. I don't get drunk. I dance all night. I don't bother anyone. Damn straight I have the right to wear my corset. It actually covers more up than half the skimpy tops and skirts some of the women wear. Anyway, I was allowed entry and I had a fantastic time, regardless. 17th of January 2014. Courier Mail article, "Man poses as woman on dating website deletes pro," whatever the rest of that article was about. And I wrote, "Oh, and here I was thinking in desperation of signing up for Plenty of Fish." You won't find me on dating apps. I once did sign up for eHarmony, and yeah, nothing happened. They wanted money, and I thought, I'm not paying for this. Degradation, humiliation, fuck off. So it wasn't my scene. I'm just not into that. It all sounds a tad putrid to me. Perhaps I will wait for a real man to show up and keep coming back in 3D world where I can interface eye to eye, woman to man, and lip sync for my life in my usual blunt and terrifyingly honest way. I can't stand the BS. It's a waste of my precious oxygen and slowly dying neurons. Ho-hum, back to the couch with my cat. And so it was, and so it is, and so it very likely always shall be, till the right man comes along, is not a game player and is available to me. 17th of January 2013. Oh my God, just cooked a delicious dinner. Spaghetti bowl made with Cajun spices, because I'm a bit creative with my spices and things, people. I mean, I hate cooking, so if I'm going to cook, it's going to be creative. Cranberries, celery, snow peas, carrot, mushrooms, onion and garlic, which I can't have anymore because I'm allergic to it. I love onion and garlic. I was insanely hungry too. Busy day. Miss Bella Rosa finally deigned to submit to a bath. Woot! I spent the rest of the afternoon and evening polishing my copper pot collection on the staircase. Now watching The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. Trippy movie, lol. I must take Charlie for a walk soon. The sun is fully out now and it's just glorious. She'll enjoy that. I had a good night. Irish Murphys, listening to a live performer who was very good. Then when it closed at midnight, had a glass of lemonade at the casino. Met a nice man, so it was interesting. Smiley face. If I say I've met a nice man, that's a rarity, people. So I would have been very impressed indeed. 17th of January 2012. Mavis visited me briefly and brought me the lovely organic vanilla pods. So lovely. Thanks, Mavis. And here I write, the story of Zulu and Penny and Tristan, rest in peace, as explained to a friend on Pal Talk, laughing out loud. Zulu is king, or he was, he's passed away now. They've all passed away now. But anyway, Zulu is king of the Holland Park Forest, which is actually called Whitesville Reserve, having sired several generations of his unofficial breed, the Holland Park Forest cat. Lol. My bad, but he did come into his sexuality rather late in life for a tomcat, as I once gave him ringworm tablets I begged from a chemist, and as a consequence he had no libido until he was about 3. My bad again. So Mr. Zulu certainly made up for lost opportunities. Lol. I did eventually de-sex him, but he was quite a playboy in the Holland Park Forest for a while there. He could have taught Marco a few tricks. No, they were pretty much the same, simpatico, my cat and Marco. Alley cats they were. She is famous for being the worst cat mother. Oh, here I'm talking about Penny. Why did that jump around? Penny is famous for being the worst cat mother I have ever seen in my entire life. Literally used to drag her kittens. Tristan, a ranger, that means ginger, had 5 siblings by her teats across the house with them mewling and screaming for an actual decent relaxed feed, as was their natural entitlement. I got so concerned for the little buggers I bought supplementary milk for them. They survived. I kept Tristan, but he only lived for 2.5 years. When I found his body down the street and brought him back, his mother, Penny, and Zulu, and Bella, my Pomeranian, were all so distressed. Penny sniffed his body while I dug his grave, and after I had buried him and said a little prayer, she sat there on and off for 4 days, grieving him. I never knew cats could grieve like that, and it was beautiful and agonizing to watch. Bella also kept watch over his grave for several days. Zulu, being Zulu, got over it pretty fast. Lol, a blokey bloke thing, I think. However, in death, Penny became the best cat mother I have ever seen, and even now, months later, still sometimes casts a sad eye in the direction of her son Tristan, the chanteur's resting place. Tristan used to sit under the trees on the fence line between my home and Timsar's house and meow for hours at nothing, so I called him the singer. On the day he died, I wrote on Facebook that my chanteur had died, but I would hear his song again one day. Don't know what made me say that. The next day, Jared visited me, and we were having a cup of tea outside, and I was feeling very bereft when we both heard a big black crow sitting on a branch above my head, singing Tristan-like, his exact mewling, whining, ranger voice, but with a crow accent. I was so shocked, I thought I was imagining it, so ignored it for a while, but then Jared turned to me and said, "Can you hear Tristan's song? That crow has learnt to mimic his meow." I said, "Yes," and started to cry. My boy had come to me in spirit to say goodbye. However, Jared only that week had seen a doco about how long after human habitation leaves this planet, some bird species will still mimic our words or sounds for several bird generations until our language is forgotten. The birds continue to teach our sounds to their offspring. Wow. Unfortunately, that particular bird has not been back to speak Tristan to me again, which is sad, as I would have liked that. Lol. So there you have it, Penny and Zulu, the only cats I have left until Zulu gets too old, I guess, and Miss Bella Rosa, and the world according to Latanya. And I wrote that on the 17th of January 2012, which I wrote was a Tuesday. And here's my beautiful girl, Penny, the worst mother in life, but the most devoted mother in death, and a most devoted soulmate to me. She literally nursed me back to health after my suicide attempt, and nursed me after the gallbladder surgery as well. My beautiful girl. And underneath is a photo, can't quite see his eyes clearly, of my Zulu. Zulu who preferred the company of men, and when I was still living at Mount Gravatt East in Wardle Street, he he would go and visit the Swedish man that lived next door, who told me he hated cats. And I would come past from the local shops, and walking past his house, would find the Swedish man, his name was Tom, sitting on his front veranda petting my Zulu. And I'd look up and I'd say, "Oh, Tom, I see you have a guest, but you hate cats." And he said, "Oh, yes, I do hate cats, but I'm rather fond of your Zulu." I was like, "Well, why wouldn't you be? He's a delight." And I'd just carry on and go home and wait for Zulu to pack his tail and come home to me at dinner time. I said to Tom, "If you want to keep Zulu, all you'll have to do is feed him and he's yours. He clearly loves you more than me." And there was this look that passed over his face, and he said, "Oh, my wife would never allow it. She hates cats too." And I said, "But Zulu's won you over. She might win your wife over too." "No," he said, "I cannot keep him." But every afternoon they'd be sitting out, Tom would be having a beer, even the other neighbour across the road would visit and join in, and they'd be sitting there having joint ownership of Zulu. When I moved away from there to come to this house, I said, "Tom, I'm moving out." "Oh, are you, Tanya?" I said, "Yes. I'm giving you the option again. Would you like to keep Zulu?" I said, "I love him dearly, and he's my cat. But he loves you more." And again the look, No, I can't possibly, Tanya." I said, "Okay." So, of course, I brought my Zulu with me and my other cats at the time. And Zulu eventually got a paralysis tick and died, and he used to love to sit out under that jade tree out there. And that was a horror, losing him that way too. His cats sometimes can survive paralysis ticks, but I don't know, he must have had too many bites or something that actually killed him. But anyway, he had run away for 4 years, but this is before he got the tick. And he'd moved up the street with an elderly man, befriended him. And I used to scream and call, "Zulu, Zulu," worried that he'd been run over, right? And one day, Crazy John, the Romanian, who used to very regularly offer to rape me, which was revolting, came out this particular day and said to me, "Stop screaming for Zulu." I said, "Why? He's my cat. I want him back." He said, "He's not dead." And he said, "And he's moved in with an old man down the street, and he likes it better with him because he feeds him steak." I thought this was a confabulation in John's mind, right, because he was a bit dotty, Anyone who keeps threatening to rape a woman, and that woman who keeps threatening to put him in hospital if he does, must be a bit loopy, right? So I just thought he made the whole thing up. No, the old bastard was telling the truth. 4 years later, Zulu appears out my front, opposite my house, looking at me like this. And when I looked at him, I said, "Is that you, Zulu?" I thought I was having some kind of spiritual frickin' hallucination of some kind, seeing ghosts. I thought maybe he had died and I was seeing the spirit. So Zulu didn't come over here, so I brushed it aside. I was convinced he was dead, right? The next day, he turned up at the fence line, and Crystal had come to visit. She said, "Mummy, Zulu's out at the fence line." I said, "What?" I said, "I thought I saw him yesterday. I thought I was imagining it." She goes, "No, he's out there." I said, "Go and get him." So she did. She brought Zulu inside, and I yelled at him. I said, I sounded like a jealous wife. I said, "Where have you been for the last 4 years, you seedy little motherfucker? I thought you were dead, and now you come home to Mama." Anyway, I fed him. He was hungry, ate voraciously, gave him water, Crystal says, "Stop yelling at him, Mummy. He's come home to you." I said, "What, after 4 fucking years? The rat-fink bastard." But anyway, I was a bit annoyed about it in a way, because he really had caused me a lot of stress, worrying about what happened to him. So anyway, but later on that afternoon, Crystal Zulu was back. I said to Crystal, there's something terribly wrong with this picture. She said, why? I said, well, the crazy Romanian said that he'd moved in with an old man down the street. I said, so for him to come home, something terrible has happened to the old man. Perhaps he's dead in the house and no one's noticed, which ended up being the crazy Romanian's fate, by the way. So I said to her, go and knock on the door of that house about 5 houses down, find out what's happened. So she did. She did go. She knocked on the door, and then the neighbours next door said to her, oh no, the old man doesn't live there anymore. He's been put in a home. He broke his hip or something, and the family put him in a home, probably with dementia, you know. And they said, but they didn't. They moved him out, but they didn't take the cat. So that's why my very intelligent, very wise Zulu came home to Mama, right? He knew where his bread was buttered, little bastard. But anyway, even the pussycat men in my life come home to Mama eventually. But will I want them when they come home to Mama after all the stress they cause me? It's a bit different with human beings. You can forgive a pussycat who's hungry and needs to be looked after, since he was originally my responsibility. But can you forgive the Jack the Lad alley cats out in the world there, spreading themselves far and wide? I think not. Here's looking at you, Marco and Dave. But anyway, here's another photo of my beautiful ginger cat. Can you see it? He's sitting on my mother's memorial chair. I've still got the plaque that came off her coffin, which was just a piece of bloody shitty plastic. So I made another one in copper, and then eventually I just erased it because I'm not memorialising that evil cow anymore. She caused me too much damage in my life. But anyway, Mr. Tristan back in the day, it was June 2011, used to like to lie on that little wicker chair that I was training a jasmine flower over, which was ironic because Jasmine's my younger daughter. So I had a jasmine flower crawling all over my mother, right? Because they were both narcissists, so they were simpatico. Magic happens, babies, in astonishing ways. Just saying. Mr. Tristan being coy, I wrote. I wanted him to pose, but he would not cooperate. Typical obstreperous redhead. Typical male. And while I'm making fun of redheads, you should know I was born with bright Titian red hair and violet coloured eyes, and I've still got the freckles to prove that I was a redhead once upon a time. So I'm not dissing redheads, I'm just very well aware of what the red-headed spirit is like. Never fuck with a redhead, and never fuck with the Tanya either. 17th of January 2011. Another day schluffing, followed by washing clothes and weeding the lawn, one patch at a time. It will take me months to eradicate the long weedy grasses which have taken over my lawns. Oh well, it's something to take my mind off my troubles. And oh my goodness. Oh, on that note, thus concludes today's readings and memories and musings and ramblings and rantings and psychedelic dreaming meanderings around and around and around. We're going down, breaker, breaker. But we're also arising and shining as well. So have a beautiful day in the space-time continuum. It's currently 30 degrees, mostly cloudy in Brisbane, Australia. but the sun is out, but kind of also meandering a bit. So have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, morning, night, wherever you are in the space-time continuum. And much love, peace, greetings, and overcoming all tribulations from Latanya at her Titania's realm. Shalom, peace. Have a beautiful, beautiful life, people. Manifest it with your true beloveds and those you can trust, with your body, mind, and spirit and soul. Love you all. Bye for now.